What causes cancer? Most cancer is sporadic. Sporadic cancer usually happens by chance due to factors like environment, lifestyle, or simply aging. It starts with a random error in a single cell's DNA that goes uncorrected by the body. Over time, these errors build up to cause cancer. Most often, cancer takes a lifetime to develop. That's why it's more common in older people. Genes can also play a role in your risk of getting cancer. Genes provide the instructions that determine how we look and how the body works. They are passed down from parents to children over generations. Your genes can increase your risk of getting hereditary or familial cancer. About 10% of all cancer is thought to be hereditary. Hereditary cancers are caused by high-risk genetic variants, also called mutations, in a single gene. One example is inherited breast and ovarian cancer due to a high-risk genetic variant in BRCA1 or 2, also pronounced BRCA. About 20% of cancers are considered familial. Familial cancers are caused by a combination of multiple factors. These factors, which include lower risk genetic variants, shared environment and lifestyle, can add up to cause cancer. Most genetic testing done today focuses on hereditary cancers caused by high-risk genetic variants. Some tests may also look for the lower-risk genetic variants that contribute to familial cancer. Who may benefit from genetic testing for inherited cancers? Both your personal history and your family medical history are used to determine if you might have an increased risk for inherited cancer. Clues for inherited cancer risk include having more than one relative with the same kind of cancer, multiple cancers in one relative, cancer across multiple generations on the same side of the family, cancer at young ages, under 50, or a rarer type of cancer, like pancreatic or ovarian cancer. What if I've already had genetic testing for inherited cancers? It is important to know that genetic testing technology changes rapidly. If you or a relative have already had genetic testing for inherited cancers, you may still benefit from updated testing. We recommend that you speak with our genetics team every few years to learn if updated testing would be beneficial for you. What do my results mean for me? The three types of results are positive, negative, and variant of uncertain significance, or VUS. Positive results indicate that you have a high-risk genetic variant in a gene that increases your risk of inherited cancer. It does not mean that you have cancer, but that your chance of getting cancer is higher than average. If you have a positive result, our genetics team will explain the types of cancer you are at risk for. They will also work with you to develop an action plan that includes personalized screening and prevention strategies. Negative results mean that no high-risk genetic variants were found. It is important that people with negative results know that they may still have some increased risk for cancer based on familial or other factors. Even people with negative results may have options for increased cancer screening or prevention strategies based on their personal or family cancer history. Variant of uncertain significance results are inconclusive. A genetic variant in a gene was detected, but it is unclear whether it increases your risk of cancer. As science gathers more data over time, we have seen that most of these VUSs, approximately 90%, are actually harmless. For this reason, no changes are recommended to your cancer screening based on a VUS. They are treated as negative results. However, if more information about the variant becomes available, we will recontact you. How might my results impact my family? The results of my genetic test for inherited cancers can be very valuable to relatives trying to understand their risk for cancer. Positive results indicate that blood relatives may also be at risk. They may benefit from genetic testing and from increased screening and prevention strategies if the same high-risk genetic variant is identified. On the flip side, Family members with negative results can be reassured because they have not inherited the increased cancer risk. Negative and VUS results are also reassuring for your family, but it is important to remember that if there is a family history of cancer, family members may still be at elevated risk and should be encouraged to discuss cancer screening with their providers. What are some limitations of genetic testing? There are limitations to testing for inherited cancers. First, we don't yet know all of the genes that can cause inherited cancers. Second, the test may not be able to detect some high-risk genetic variants in the genes on the test. Finally, there are no medical management guidelines yet for some genes. Because of these limitations, we may recommend that you check back in with our genetics team every few years to learn if updated testing is available. Can my genetic test results be used to discriminate against me? Multiple federal laws prevent your health insurance provider or your employer from discriminating against you based on your genetic test results. Some exceptions exist, such as for people in the U.S. military. You can learn more about these exceptions from our genetics team. However, these laws don't apply to life insurance, long-term care insurance, and disability insurance coverage. You or your at-risk relatives may wish to update these types of policies before getting a genetic test. How much does genetic testing cost? Is it covered by insurance? Genetic testing is covered by most insurance carriers. Out-of-pocket costs average $0 to $100. Self-pay options are also available. Finally, many laboratories offer financial assistance based upon household size and income. What are the next steps? If you decide to be tested for inherited cancers, you will be asked to sign a consent document that contains the information from this video. Genetic testing is then done using a blood or saliva sample. Results will be back in a few weeks. A member of our team will reach out to share these results and discuss their meaning for you and your relatives.